So let's have a little taste. Yeah, that's beautiful. Cream, or what I would do for this one would be, oh, I can't stop eating it now. So we've picked our rhubarb, we've topped, tailed and washed the rhubarb. The tops and the tails, the wasted bit, has gone into our compost bin. That will now compost down for future gardening purposes. The leaves, the tops, are non-usable. They are poisonous. The bottom parts, you could use them, you could cook them down with some apple or something and make a jelly from that. There are recipes on the internet which can use the bottom parts of the rhubarb. We have got loads of jelly, so we're just putting them in our compost for next year. So what we've done is we've cut up our rhubarb. We've cut up our rhubarb into approximately 1-inch pieces. The 1-inch pieces will cook down nice and slowly. We don't want it to cook into a mush or anything like that. We still want it to keep the bite of the rhubarb and subsequently the flavour of the rhubarb there. To that, this is about 1 kilogram of rhubarb. To that, we've added 150 grams of granulated sugar. We've also added our elderflower cordial up to about 1/3 of the way up the pan. The recipe for our elderflower cordial is in the description. Of course, you can buy elderflower cordial. So about 1/3 way up. Then to that, we're going to add 1 level teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So whilst the rhubarb is gently cooking down, what I've done is I've got together the ingredients for the crumble part of the Rhubarb and Elderflower Crumble. So what I've got is 400 grams of plain flour. Then what we add to that is 200 grams of oats, just normal porridge oats, and 100 grams of just granulated sugar. We pour all that in together. And to that, we add 160 grams of butter or margarine, and we gently mix that in to a consistency of breadcrumbs. So the rhubarb has been cooking for probably about 5 minutes now. As you can see there, it's starting to break down slowly. I'll just try and show you that. Parts of it are starting to break down, the smaller parts maybe. Some of the bigger parts are still quite hard. I'm going to leave that for another 5 minutes, but not cook it too hard. As I said, we don't want to break it down into a mush. We still want to keep a lot of that bite there. So we're just gently bringing it together, just very slowly, just incorporating all of the ingredients together. As I said before, we're looking for breadcrumb consistency. Okay, so I would say that is the consistency that we need to be at. So we're going to take the rhubarb across into our dish. Just again, trying not to break it up. This is still going to cook down in the oven as well, so it's going to do further cooking. So you can have this rhubarb, it doesn't have to be cooked too far. So we have this sauce left over here. What we'll do is we'll reduce that sauce down a little bit, and we'll use that for a syrup to cover on ice cream. It goes perfectly with vanilla ice cream. That's what we use that syrup for. So then we've got our rhubarb, and we just sprinkle our crumble mixture over the top of the rhubarb. Just a light sprinkling of caster sugar on top of that. So We're going to put that in the oven at about 200 degrees centigrade, middle shelf. We want it to brown on the top, just slightly, probably take about 30 minutes. I'll show you that when that's done. So, there you go, as you've just seen, the Rhubarb and Elderflower Crumble is now nicely golden brown on the top. That's now cooked through, the rhubarb is still hot. We're going to eat that later on though. We're going to eat that when it's cooled down quite substantially. We're going to eat that with some vanilla ice cream. Talking of which, this is the syrup that I made out of the juice. This would be a perfect syrup. When this cools down, it'll get a little bit thicker, a little bit more syrupy, and we'll use this as a topping for vanilla ice cream. Just lovely. Give it a little taste, see what it's like. Beautiful. You can definitely taste the cinnamon. Well, do you know? I say you definitely taste the cinnamon. You can definitely taste the rhubarb. The elderflowers there as a back note, beautiful. It's still a little bit tart. It's got a certain tartness to it. It's not overly sweet at all. That is quite intense, quite intensely beautiful actually. So we will use that, as I said, yeah, we'll use that as a syrup for ice creams. To be honest, you can pour it over the rhubarb crumble, do whatever you want with it, but vanilla ice cream, perfect. So, thanks very much for joining us today for the recipe for Rhubarb and Elderflower Crumble. If you enjoy the recipe, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy what I do, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see future videos, of course, subscribe. Thank you very much for watching today. Bye bye. The Rhubarb and Elderflower Crumble. Served up, looking beautiful. Even though I do say so myself. The rhubarb was cooked down quite a lot, maybe a little bit more than I planned. Well, having said that, here's a piece. You see, this piece is still like a whole piece of rhubarb, so it hasn't cooked down to a mush or fully into a mush. There's some softer bits and some harder bits as well, which is exactly what we were looking for. So let's have a little taste. Yeah, that's beautiful. Cream, or what I would do for this one would be, oh, I can't stop eating it now. Oh, what I would do is cream, sorry, put cream on there, but what I would do is vanilla ice cream. Vanilla ice cream's going to go perfectly with that. That is, sorry, but that's beautiful, even though I do say so myself. You have to try it. You definitely have to try that. Beautiful.